What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Art Adventures. Today, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a few examples of what to do with dominoes, on how to make domino tracks. Guys, here's some tips and tools that I'm gonna teach you guys, and I'll explain those in just a second. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, first things first, what to do, what not to do. You see, the dominoes have three different ways that you can kind of lay them down. Obviously, dominoes aren't meant to be laid down like this unless you're building a tower. Right now we're doing a domino track, so we need to stand them up tall, like so. We're not gonna stand them on their sides. It's not gonna have enough speed or momentum or power to knock down the rest of them. It's just not really gonna work. It's not gonna function that way. So you stand them up tall, okay? And what you're gonna do is you're gonna stand them up and you're going to start placing them one after another. You can get detailed with curves and stuff like that. I'll give you guys instructions on how to do that later. But for right now, I want to show you guys what to do and what not to do. Okay, there's about a finger width between each one of these spaces. Now, some domino sets come with a little gadget that you can kind of put all the dominoes and fit them in. It kind of looks like teeth. You put a domino, put a domino, put a domino, and you slide it in place where you need it, and slide it out of place, and your dominoes will stay, and you'll have this perfect setup. Most people don't have those, and most classrooms aren't gonna have enough to share with everybody, so we gotta do it by hand. This is an example of what to do and how to set them up. Here's a couple of examples on how not to set them up. Okay, so this example right here on the bottom side is an example on how not to set them up. Will this work? Absolutely. But will it be the best scenario? No. Why? Because they're too close. They won't get enough speed and momentum in order to knock everything down, especially if you're gonna be doing them going towards a tower. Also, we have big buckets that are holding 200 dominoes. And if you put it too close, you're not gonna really be able to stretch these out. Here you have the same length. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on one, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the other one. And I could still add an 11th to make it the same length. So if you put them too close, your domino tracks won't be very, very long in order to actually extend it throughout the table, so on and so forth, and allow yourself to have this really extravagant domino track. All right, the next step on how not to set them up, I'm gonna set it up over here, okay? And that's going to be to set them up extremely far away from each other. This is what I see a lot of students doing. Are these close enough to hit each other? Possibly, but most likely it's not gonna work. If you tap one, it might miss, it might fall over the wrong way, and it's not gonna fall over in the exact same chain reaction as one of these two. And again, this one's just a little too close. If you have about a finger's width or half an inch between each one, that is about perfect for a domino track to work successfully. So now I'm gonna go ahead and tap over one of these, and maybe this one works if it's close enough, but it might not work if you're doing a full track and you're spreading them out this far. So here you go, here's your example. Okay, that one missed, and it finally kind of caught, but this is the ideal thing to not do. I've seen too many kids spreading them out too far. Okay, this one will work if you tap it over, but you see it kind of goes slow. And the reason why it goes slow is they're so close to each other, it doesn't have enough momentum to fall forward at a certain speed to hit the next domino. If it only has to kind of tilt over a tiny bit, it's not going to tap over the next ones with enough speed and momentum to really give it power. And lastly, the one that I would like for you guys to actually try is gonna be giving it about a half inch or a finger width between each one of these dominoes. That is gonna be ideal. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to actually split your domino track line. All right, so imagine we have a line and it's gonna go off the table, so on and so forth, and it's gonna be very detailed and very long. If you wanna split this into two tracks and not just have one single line, simple. Instead of putting it right here, you're gonna place it here, and then you're gonna slide it over about halfway. You're gonna put another one right next to it, very close, okay? So there's gonna be a slight gap in the middle. And what you're gonna do is when this domino falls over, it's gonna hit the halfway mark between this one and this one at the exact same time. Both of these dominoes will fall at the exact same time. And then you can continue on making two different tracks like this. All right, guys, so now I have my tracks set up where I have my one lane here and it's gonna split off into two. It almost looks like a V or a Y. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what happens in slow motion. When it falls over, it'll hit both of these and they will both split off together. All right, last but not least, I'm gonna show you guys how to do some different curves, what to do, what not to do. When you guys are setting these up, okay, if I want to just make something hook, I will go ahead and set these up at the top so that it can start curving down on the bottom here. I'll have my domino track in a line. And then when I want to start turning it, I'm gonna turn each one, instead of going straight, I'm gonna turn it just a little bit, okay? Straight, turn it just a little bit. And you still want about a 1/2 inch distance between each domino. And there you go, there you have a good turn. Here's an example of what not to do. Okay, now on this example, you have a very sharp turn, okay? This domino may hit this, and this domino may hit this, but sometimes what happens is the force of this one, it'll kind of turn this or turn this, and it'll hit this domino kind of out of place and it'll fall over this way and it won't hit. If it's in the perfect placement, it might hit. If it's not in the perfect placement, it will miss your actual dominoes and these tracks will not fall over. So here I'm gonna give you an example on what this looks like. See, this domino, even though it was turned to the side, it still missed the domino track, and then you would have to go ahead and tap that over. The example of what to do in gradually turning is gonna work a lot better. Okay, in that track, you have a very gradual turn. If you wanted to do a sharp turn, like the second what not to do, all you would have to do is put your dominoes a little closer to each other, and then it will actually go ahead and hit your dominoes correctly, and everything will start working its way out. Again, you still want to have your finger width or 1/2 inch between each domino. But here in that sharp, sharp, sharp turn, you wanna put them a lot closer. So here's your example on how to do this. And I'm gonna give you another example of what not to do. If you have another domino track that is gonna be like this here, and you wanna do a sharp turn, I've also seen two things, and that's either students doing domino tracks like this, or completely taking that out and this track will fall. None of this will get hit. If you guys do it like this, this track will push this out of the way, this track will stay standing and nothing will happen, okay? If you have something more like this, where you have that sharp turn, you tap one, it'll all fall over. And since these are so close to each other, chain reaction will still happen and then it will continue on with that track. All right, well, there you go. That's the first set of the videos. Next video, I'm gonna show you guys how to build some different towers and stuff like that. I've been watching a lot of videos online and we do these in our classroom and we do these great projects. If you haven't seen it already, I'll link it in the description below, but I have a video of what the classroom did last year, and I'm gonna make another video for my students this year. I'm gonna do it every year to give you guys different updates on what they're doing, how much better they're getting. But also when it comes to building the towers, I'm gonna go from a different angle. I'm gonna show you guys how to build those here personally and give you guys all the best tips and tools to build these cool domino tracks. Guys, I love this assignment. I love this project. This is so much fun. I hope you guys do too. Peace.
It's a 16 bar from the